back to the penultimate episode of the Cupid Cup Awards. That's right, it's because today is a doubleheader. We're covering the New Blood Award and the Single Line Brilliancy Prize. So, exciting stuff. Let's jump right to it. So the New Blood Award is for the best performance of relative newcomers, so folks that are new to the tournament scene. But I mean, of course, shout out to all the new teams. It's awesome to see there's something like 6 new teams, and yeah, just competing and committing to a tournament is awesome, and it's hard. It takes bravery and dedication. So, and a special shout out to Team 3. Even though they, on paper, they scored 8th. I mean, their raw score was good, and also they learned a whole new freaking system just to play. They're the one team that did a referential civ. I love that they took this opportunity to really push themselves to learn a whole new system. So, yeah, shout out to Team 3. But the winner, I think by a landslide for the New Blood competition in my mind, goes to the Abio family. For one thing, I mean, they played all 12 games, which is incredible. And I just loved their mindset. We talked a little bit about why they were playing and what they were hoping to do. So a quote from them, from Narabio, says, "We entered the tournament to have fun. We knew we were not going to have a high position because we know there are many players who are more experienced, but we're committed to playing all the rounds and keeping the fight up until the end." Love it. And you can actually see, they said they practiced a lot for all the seeds. You know, they had a rocky start on the first circuit, but then, check this out, boom, they win, whoa, and they win again. 5 wins in a row, 5 perfect scores in a row. Was incredible. Congratulations to Abio. I hope we see you again, and I hope you continue to play. So next up we have the Brilliancy Prize for Single Line. So first runner-up, we have a familiar situation. If you saw the Bob's Award, we have this clue from Jack, 5 to firewood. I do wonder if Jack thought this would happen. I bet this was the plan, right? Because this is the last clue and 2 playables just showed up. So I think this was all planned. Jack clues 5 here. So of course this is a bluff. Of course Ant doesn't know if it's a bluff or a finesse, but obviously Ant is called to blind play here. But instead, Ant is sneaky and just plays the green 4. Now, this is always a fun thing to do. Sometimes not a great idea, but in this case, I think it works perfectly. 0 clues. Why not go for it? This is called a pass bluff. So since Ant does not respond, now firewood is being promised the blue 3. So they blind play. That is not the blue 3. Okay, Jack discards known trash. And now Ant still does not demonstrate. Instead, Ant clues the 4. Which means this is now known to be the blue 3. Except, and if you remember the Bob video, you'll know Firewood actually knows this card is not the blue 3 already from the previous round. Since we got the 4 clue. Of course, if this was blue 3, Ant would not have responded from a bluff. So, and this is what I think the cherry on top of this line, right, is after this clue, Firewood can just discard this card, knowing that any playable card it is not the blue 3, and everything else is covered. So, yeah, I think that's lovely. Of course, okay, this does end up causing a bomb at the end of the day, but, I mean, whatever, that's fine. There are 0 strikes, and knew it was playable. In the worst case, it is the other yellow one. So, all in all, lovely play. You love to see it, and they do go on to win the game. So, nice job. Okay, second runner-up. If you saw the last video, you already know what this is. So I'm going to go very briefly over it. But shout out to various. This was the winner of the Kathy Award. Is this very strange-looking ones clue? Like I said already, I think this is a brilliancy because it does allow for the order chop move and a free fix clue. The line was blue, into the red clue. So it saved the blue 4, which would have been tricky, and saved the red 3, which would have been tricky. In combination, I say brilliant. Well done. Okay, and finally, we have the winner of the Brilliancy Single Line Award. A new face to the awards, actually, is Team Unstable, playing H group, and they've reached a critical endgame point. So just to give a little context, we had this 4 save, right? So this is known red 4, but this could be yellow or, pink 5. Yeah, so play continued for a while, and you can see they're discarding, they're kind of digging deep. Unfortunately, they lost some playables earlier, so they're digging for exactly 3 playable cards out of 11. There's the 1 red 3, 1 yellow 3, the 1 pink 2. Why I think this is a lovely line, well, I guess you'll see what happens. Plum has to decide what to clue this turn, right? There's no available play clues. Pace is at 3, so I think the intuitive thing to do is just to discard. But I'd say we gotta start being really careful here, right? Because let's imagine this is actually the other copy of yellow 4. Plum knows this is the pink 4 now, so Plum should be worried. If they discard, they don't really want to discard here. This is a minor bottleneck, right? If they discard and draw pink 5, they could be in trouble in the late game, because now Plum has a critical red 4 behind the red 5, and 2 critical pink cards behind the pink 3. Long story short, even though the cards they're digging for are playable, from Plum's perspective, discarding could cause some issues. But, I mean, you know, sometimes you have to do that if you have to worry about your stall clues being misinterpreted. Plum finds a great resource. They clue red. And I guarantee that a lot of players here would not risk giving this clue, because boy oh boy, is it tempting for Quentin to assume they just drew red 3, and whoops, game over. But no, Quentin trusts that this is actually a negative color tempo clue. Notice these 5s are currently indistinguishable, but the white 5 is playable, so excellent resource to be able to fill this in negative red. Shout out to Quentin too. Just as important to realize that it's time for them to discard. Zoe, of course, just needs to play. And now I think this is my favorite clue of the whole game. See if you can spot it. Plum clues 4. Boom. And again, this is not easy to decide. Quentin just discarded, right? So this absolutely could be yellow 3. So boy, is it tempting to play this. But no. Quentin correctly realizes that this is again just a bottleneck stall, basically. Plum doesn't want to discard, and they're passing it back. And you know, I guess there's probably argument if this was not playable, if this was just trash, maybe this is the time for Plum to discard. But in this specific case, because now we have red suit finished, Plum knows that there's a little bit of pressure off. Probably outside of being bottom decked, the easiest way for them to lose would be for them to be overloaded, and like I said, to draw a pink 5 and the pink 4. Yeah, this would be tragic. So pretty unintuitive stall, but it worked out. And they get the red, and they go on to win. So congratulations to Unstable for winning the Brilliancy Award. Alright, so that'll do it for today. Stay tuned next time for the last, and probably the most exciting award, the full game Brilliancy Prize.